Hey, what up? It's Will Maker. Today I'm going to go over setup and recording in Pro Tools and how to add an instrument track. These are the steps that I take when setting up a session in Pro Tools. So with that, let's go ahead and dive in. The first thing that I recommend to do is head up here to setup. This is where you can select your playback engine, aka your interface. Next is going to be the buffer size. This is important because it helps with latency. So if you're getting a delay in your headphones when you're recording vocals, this can help. When I'm recording vocals, I set this to 128 samples, and when I'm mixing, I go with 1024 samples. Next, I'm going to go ahead and name my session. My file type is WAV. Bit depth I choose is 32-bit float to avoid distortion. Sample rate that I go with is 48 Hertz. And the I/O settings, I recommend going with stereo mix. You could potentially end up with routing issues with last used, especially with sharing sessions or transferring sessions between interfaces. Lastly, designate where you want to save your project. Once your Pro Tools session loads, you have a blank session. Now, I don't personally do too many beats in Pro Tools. I use it strictly for mixing, which means I'm usually importing. So to do that, I come up to File, Import, Audio. Next, locate your file or files. The easy way is to hit Convert. If it says Copy, go ahead and click Copy. This will make a copy of the files you're importing so they're in your session. Go ahead and click New Track. Now you have your session or beat imported. Next, I'll need to add some audio track for vocals, and I also want to add a master fader. So you can either come up here to Track and click New, or you can do the shortcut Shift-Command-N on a Mac. So I'm going to create a couple of vocal tracks, so I'll click 2 in here. Vocal tracks are going to be recorded in mono. They're going to be audio tracks. I'll go ahead and hit the plus to add my master fader. Master fader will be in stereo. And I'll also add an instrument track, which will also be in stereo. To record vocals, you're going to set up your mic input here in the I/O section. You can also do this in the mix window, which is Command equal. This setup also works if you're recording an external instrument like keyboard, bass, or guitar. If you don't have an I/O section, you can come up here to the Edit Window View selector and go ahead and select I/O. Also, make sure that you're selecting the correct input from your interface here. So if it's mic 1, make sure that you're selecting mic 1. If you hit record, you should be getting a level. Check, 1, 2. I always try to set my level somewhere between -6 and -10 dB. Another tip is if you want to have multiple takes to select from, make sure that you record in playlist. Another quick tip is if you want the tempo. Select 4 bars and make sure that you loop it correctly. Hit Command-I on a Mac. You get the Add Beat bar marker. Go ahead and change the start location up here to a 1 and the end to a 5. Hit OK, and you have your tempo. For the instrument track, add your instrument to your insert here. Make sure that you arm the track, and you should have sound now. And if you want access to the piano roll, it's going to be Control equal on a Mac. Lastly, to record, I use the shortcut Command Spacebar on a Mac. You can also record up here. And if you want to set up group sends or returns, I have a video for that up here. So that's a quick video on how to get started recording in Pro Tools. So if you like content like this, please feel free to like and subscribe. Other than that, peace out.